right. Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your absolutely favorite podcast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Riffin with Griffin. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, everybody, welcome back to Riffin with Griffin. You know, NBA playoffs still going on, and I'm so excited about it. It's one of the best playoffs we've seen in a while, even though some of the biggest stars aren't in it, but who cares? A lot of stuff to talk about there, so if you're in the NBA, stick around. I love this show, Moon Knight. We're going to talk about that. And just a bunch of little things going on in the world. My wedding is coming up. Talk about that. Talk about some weird stuff Rachel and I do. But anyways, welcome back. All right, Riffin with Griffin is back in the house. Thanks for being here. No ads today, but I will say if you feel so inclined, you want to support the show even more, there's a lot of ways to do it. You could become a Patreon member. I got some backlog videos I got to put up there. So you could do that. Join me on Patreon or Twitch. You can become a Twitch also subscriber, and you could join me there, or just watch me every day. I stream on Twitch. But for most part, thank you for subscribing and being a part of the show. Why is that subscribe so little, man? That's what? That don't even make sense, man. This should not be that little. Let me fix this right now. All right, there we go. I don't know if it worked, but let's see. Let's do it again. There we go. Man, it's like I got to do everything my damn self when you're like alone doing it. All right. So anyway, subscribe, share, all that kind of great stuff. So I appreciate you guys doing that. And if you like I say, if you're so inclined, all the links and stuff are there. So thanks for supporting the show. What's up, guys? Yeah, a lot of stuff going on, I guess. Yeah, I'm getting married. It's getting closer. It's like 50 days or something like that. I don't know. I would say that I was nervous at first, or you're not sure. I mean, again, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing it this late in life. So let me just say this. If you're a young man, your late 20s, early 30s, if you are thinking about, one, being a father, okay, so this is important to think about. If you're thinking about being a father, then I suggest that you really, if you're in a relationship, consider, is this the person that you want to do this with? Can you build a life with this person? Because, you got to think about kids, man, like how old you're going to be when they get older. As you get older, I'm 50, so we're going to have to start now. I'm gonna be trying to play catch, and my back's gonna be hurting. I'm gonna be like, you need to move closer. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I don't regret my life at all. But if someone had talked to me like this, maybe I would have made a different choice. Maybe if someone older had said to me, "Hey, is this really something you want to think about?" I mean, because we're so selfish. We're always thinking about ourselves. We're always thinking about our own life and what's going on with us, me. And, when you get other people in your life, it becomes not just about you. It becomes a team. It becomes like them and what you want to do for your family. And it's like, so, I understand. Maybe you're thinking like, oh, I don't want to do this, so you're scared. But just think when your kid is 10, how old do you want to be? When your kid is 20, how old do you want to be? You get what I'm saying? And so I feel like I've lived a whole lifetime, and now I'm starting a whole new life right now. So I don't even get to rest. So I feel like I did it in reverse. So whatever the rest I did, or whatever the selfishness of just looking out for me and doing stuff for me, now those days are gone. So now in my older age, I'm going to be like taking care of people. It's that's daunting. You know what I mean? I'm ready for the challenge. I'm excited about it. I wouldn't want to do it with any other person. Love Rachel. She's Rachel said something so funny to me. I don't know. She's going to hate me for even talking about this. But Rachel has this thing, so she's on her period, right? And she's like, do you know how to put in a tampon? And I'm like, no, I do not. And that's not something that I want in my mental Rolodex, right? And then she's, and then she gets stubborn about it. She's like, well, you need to know how to do that. She goes, what if we have a daughter and you die? And she goes, she dies. She goes, what if I die and you have a daughter? What are you going to tell her? I'm like, well, I don't know if any little girl wants their father telling them how to put in a tampon. So that was my first pushback. I was like, what are you talking about? But she was adamant about it. She was like, no, you need to know how to do this. I think it was just her thing. I think she just wanted me to do it. So it was this whole thing about, I want you to do it. And then she goes, her reasoning is, well, what if I lose my arms? If I lose my arms, you're going to have to do this for me. And I was like, okay. And I just thought it was super adorable that she thought I would stay with her if she lost her arms. You know what I mean? Like, bitch, I'm out. You don't got no arms? I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm just kidding, all right? I'm just being facetious, and that's going to be a funny joke on stage. But, so, it was this whole thing, and then, we did it. Oh, and Rachel also did something hilarious. So, I was in Houston over the weekend, and shout out to people in Houston. It was actually a great weekend. People of Houston were fantastic. I had such a good time. I actually have some clips. I had some crowd work clips on this drive that I have right here. So I need to put those up on the internet. Crowd work stuff is always good, burning material. But so I get a text from Rachel, and she's mortified because she was sending me some topless pictures, you know what I mean? Being cute and sexy, but she accidentally sent them to her mom. I mean, so then she screenshots the text with her and her mom, and he's topless picture. She's like, and so Rachel's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I meant to send that to Erik. And then Rachel's mom, her mom's all like, it's okay. Well, he'll like these, Oh man, so that's just is that the worst thing ever? What do you guys think? Is that the worst thing ever? Should we put up a poll? What's the worst thing ever that you've ever done? We'll put that in the chat, and you could say it in the chat. You could put it up in the comments. Have you ever sent a nude pic to someone that you should not be sending a nude pic to by accident, And it's funny because we're in this group chat, with her family. So there's 20 people, members of her family in this group chat. And I was just thinking, what if she would have sent it there? That would have been a nightmare. That would be a nightmare. Oh, wow. So fun times with Rachel. Oh, so I see people in the chat I saw my mom's nudes once. You know what's crazy is, think about this. The way technology is now, there's no way you're going to have to delete all this stuff or hide it. Kids are like little detectives. They're going to be all in your stuff. I mean, there's so many pictures and inappropriate pictures and even just provocative pictures that you might have on your phone, in your cloud, that just, thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures, man. So what are you going to do? I mean, people are going to see this. Your kids are going to see this. They're going to be like, what's going on? I mean, I think the internet's crazy because of it's on Instagram, hoes actually become housewives. You know what I mean? I don't know. We've been on it 10 years. I don't know how many times I've seen a person that maybe I talked to 10 years ago, who was being whatever. And then now they got kids and a husband. I'm like, bitch, you was different 10 years ago. So there's going to be a lot of that, man. I don't know how how do people raise kids in this generation? Like who's got a 10, 11, 12, 14-year-old right now with the way the internet is? But even now, if you're thinking about like the people, like if you were 10 years ago and you were being, nasty on the internet, and now you're 40, or, whatever it is, you know what I mean? If you're in your 30s now, or I just think that in the next 10 years, that generation where it was like so fluid of people just passing around pictures and doing stuff, then these people are now going to have kids 10, 12, 13, 14 years old. And then they're going to be the ones who are going to be like looking through stuff and being like, oh my God, Mom, why do you have 40 pictures of yourself in a bikini on the internet? You know what I mean? So it's going to be that kind of stuff. So I see somebody in the chat, Linda Lopez. I told my husband he's not allowed to send me inappropriate messages to me anymore because he's always responding to my direct messages in our group chat with my parents, so I can't take the chance. I mean, I get that. You know what I mean? I get that. But it's like, the good thing about it's still fun to be like sexy and flirty. That's the good thing about texting and the messaging. I like being flirty with Rachel. She'll like send me pictures. I'll send her pictures, She's like, send me a video or whatever, especially when I'm on the road, that kind of stuff. So, it's fun. But it's like when you got kids, you got to start thinking about like, you make sure you have your phone locked. But then there's the whole thing about like, do you want your phone locked? Yeah, but I think you should have your phone locked no matter what. Just for the simple fact that you can lose it. And like, I have all my credit cards and my Apple Pay. I have all that stuff. Like, nah, man, this is about trust issue, whatever. My phones stay locked because, you never know. I got so many people's numbers and stuff in here. You don't want that situation. You don't want to be like on your phone and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You lose your phone and then all of a sudden somebody's buying a TV with your Apple Pay because it's nothing, So I don't know. All right. Anyways, big news. Today or yesterday. The mask mandate has been lifted, y'all. The mask mandate for travelers no longer in effect. And how do I feel about it? I am a hooray, hurrah guy for this because I travel probably more than most of you. I mean, here's what I feel about it. The way we're at right now, you're either vaccinated or you're not, okay? If you're not, and you have the risk of getting it, then you might end up in the hospital and whatever worst case scenario situation. All right. I got it. I felt terrible for a couple of days. And I also felt like my vaccine was working. I really felt like that. And believe me, forget the politics of it. Okay. I'm just telling you, I felt like, this could have been worse for me, without it. Right. So do you, whatever you want to do. I'm not trying to tell you do whatever you want. But at this point, though, in society, I feel like we got to be about looking out for ourselves. Take care of yourself first. Make sure you look out for you. So whatever you're doing to take care of yourself, do that. Enough of like making everybody else do what everybody else wants. So if you're a person that thinks you want to be extra safe, wear your mask on the plane and mind your damn business. That's where we need to get back to. And I understand totally why the airlines don't want to do this because you got people who are just trying to do their job as a flight attendant. And now you also got to be police with people who you don't know how these people are going to react. So I think it put people in a tense situation, hey, excuse me, you need to do this. And, you saw all the videos. There's so many videos online of people going crazy, right? So now it's going to be like, but I still think it's going to happen because it's going to be like, maybe you sit next to somebody who's like, they want to wear a mask. I'm not going to be wearing a mask on a plane. I'm just not. If I get a sense I'm sitting next to somebody that like got the sniffles or something, maybe I will. I'm going to have my mask with me just in case. You never know. Maybe I'm not feeling under the weather, whatever it is like that. But if I don't want to, I won't be. Mind your business. If you want to do it, do it. And that's how it should be anyway. I mean, how many times before all this, I would see Asian people at the airport wearing masks. And I'd be like, what's wrong? Well, that looks crazy. I don't think like that anymore. Now I get it. Yeah. So that's how I feel about it. I think we're over this. I think we're done with it, how it's affecting our lives. I think there's still an imminent threat. I think that there's still things to worry about, but I don't think we handled it properly. So now we're going to handle it the way we're handling it now. And it's up to you. So, because it's just sad to hear all these stories of people who are in the hospital about to die talking about, can I get the vaccine? And they're like, I'm sorry, it's too late. So that's a lot of stories about that, okay? And then, of course, you have the people that push back who will be like, well, you can become impotent. You could, become whatever you think is wrong with the thing. Either way, all I'm saying is how we handling it now is how I want to handle it. I'm walking into a restaurant with my mask off. I'm traveling. I'm walking around the airport with my mask off. I can understand if you want to be on the plane. Yes, I get that. I haven't even decided. But in terms of when I'm just in a space, forget that. Because I hated it. We all hated it. So boom. Thank goodness it's done. According to, so some judge in some place, said this is far beyond the CDC's, purview to have this mandate. The administration already said, yeah, we're dropping the mandate. And so here we are. So let's live our lives. You know what I mean? Let's live our lives. Canada, they still got their nonsense going on. Fine. It's like people just won't be visiting Canada, you have to be fully vaccinated to travel to Canada. I don't know if you still need the COVID test and all that nonsense to travel to Canada. I hope not, because that was just a racket. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It was a racket. So hopefully they got rid of all that. And we could just now start. You need to take care of your personal health. You need to take care of your personal health. I'm exercising, at least 4 times a week now. I'm trying to get myself in better shape, and I'm trying to so we can fight off these kinds of things. Take your vitamins, get your fish oil, whatever you got to do. Make sure you're taking care of yourself so you can fight off whatever is coming your way. All right. Anyways. All right, guys. Let's get into one of my favorite topics right now, and it is the NBA playoffs. Okay? I want to get into these NBA playoffs. Wait, what's going on? Why is it so little like that? Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry. This is crazy. Why did it do that? There we go. Ooh. There it is. Boom. I don't know what happened there. New version of my software came out. Okay, so there we go. Oh, let me put a stream marker so when I'm doing the things. All right, so NBA playoffs, guys. Let's get into it. Playoff time. The games have been absolutely fantastic. Right? Let's just go one at a time. So let's get into the one series that is to me, it doesn't even make sense that this is a first round series, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? And of course, that's the Nets and the Celtics, the number 2 seed versus the Nets, who are the number 7 seed, who probably, if everything was working out great, would be a number 1 or 2 seed. At least at the minimum 3, but we get in this really great first round series that's got a sort of Eastern Finals atmosphere to it. The Celtics won on a buzzer beater. Really great team play. I don't know. I like the Celtics to win the series still. I do. I feel like, I don't know. I don't think the Nets have enough. I don't think they run their offense in a way to win a playoff series. But who knows? They can still win the championship for all we know because those two guys are that good. But there's enough stats to show that, when they both score 60, I'm saying when they combine for 60, they don't have a great record. They need other people on that team to step up. So Kyrie Irving went for 39 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. I mean, the dude was balling game one, right? You know, you just saw what a fantastic talent. And then the crowd was getting on him. They were like, boo, calling him names, and he was flicking them off. He got fined $50,000 for that. I mean, how do I feel about it? I mean, you know, I've been a fan in the crowd, and I've yelled things at the players. I've never been like inappropriate in terms like that, but we get into it. I remember one time I was at the game with Adam Devine, and we're sitting there, and Russell Westbrook he was playing for Oklahoma City at the time, I believe, still, or it could have been Houston. Well, whoever he was playing for, Adam and I were yelling at him. We had really good seats, like third row, you know what I mean? And we were like, boo, Russell Westbrook, you suck. We saying all this, and he turned and looked at us. Excuse me, and he gave us a death stare that both him and I, like we visibly went, ooh, you know, like we looked at each other like, oh, he's gonna, you know, we really were like fearful. He has like this look, and then like one of the guys that talks to us all the time, one of the Clippers people, comes over and goes, hey, what'd you guys say to Westbrook? You know what I mean? So I get it, fans interact, and I actually don't have a problem with this. I mean, it's iffy because, you know, sports are like, it's a family show per se, and so you have like kids watching, so that's always the thing. People go kids, and I get that. I don't have kids yet, but I want to have kids, and so I'm already thinking like that. So it is a family show, so it's like, you know, we don't want players cursing and acting up. You know, it is what it is, though. You know what I mean? He got fined, so you move on with your life. But I feel like the Boston people are gonna really give it to him. They're gonna, you know what I mean? Like they're going to, they're gonna make it worse for him. So let's see how he responds. But I thought Boston was better. They won the rebounding matchup. They had more rebounds. You know, they had more assists. I just think that Boston is a better team. I think Jason Tatum is an underrated superstar. I feel like Jason Tatum should really be in the MVP conversation for what he's done. He's only 24 years old, and he's always there. They've been to the Eastern Conference Final twice already. They just ran into LeBron James, you know? If you think about it, LeBron James has been to the championship. He went to the championship 10 times. So this is what happened with Jordan. Jordan stopped great teams from achieving their goal. And so we don't remember those teams. But there was a Cavs teams with Doherty and Mark Price. That Cavs team was excellent. They couldn't beat Michael Jordan. There was the Knicks team with the you know, Ewing and all them guys. They had so many chances, they couldn't get past Michael Jordan. You have the Stockton and Malone didn't get a championship. Charles Barkley didn't get a championship. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There were so many teams in the East that couldn't get past Jordan, so we don't remember those teams. That's the same thing that happened with LeBron James. I think Boston could have already had a championship if it wasn't for LeBron James. LeBron James, he stopped that Pistons team. The Pistons with that eventually won a championship, by the way. They won a championship when they played the Lakers. But that team could have won more championships, but LeBron James stopped them. Remember, LeBron James had 25 in the fourth quarter versus Detroit and went to the championship and got swept by San Antonio. But I think that Detroit team would have been a better matchup against San Antonio and possibly could have won a championship, but they didn't get past LeBron James. The Celtics with their big three, they only won one championship and couldn't get past LeBron James. So Jason Tatum, same thing. He was in that situation where they had to face LeBron James and couldn't do it. So this is his time to really prove that he is a megastar. If he could beat Brooklyn, and then they'll have to face, in this next round, they'll have to face like Giannis, or I'm sure the Bucks are going to win that series. They have to face Giannis, and then if they beat them, then they got to go face the winner of, you know, Philly or Miami, you know? So it's like to whoever wins the East is bona fide. That's a tough conference this year. So shout out, kudos to the Boston. Kevin Durant, he didn't have a very good game. It is what it is. This is what I say about Kevin Durant. I think he's a phenomenal talent. I'm not talking a lot of smack about Kevin Durant. He's a phenomenal talent, probably the best in the game. but there's too often in big moments he shows up 9 for 25. It's just there's so many examples of it. So if he don't play more consistently in this series, because all they got to do, the other team got to do is shut down one of them. Let the other one go off. This dude had 39 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. He shot over 50%. Okay, Kyrie, you go for yours. We'll just shut down the other one. And then I don't think the other guys on the Nets are enough to I don't think they're enough to win that game. Okay? That's what I have to say about that. All right, so then you got – all right, so now let's just go through the matchups again now. So now you got the 76ers and the Raptors, all right? So, and there's so many great stories in the Eastern Conference playoffs right now, actually in the whole NBA that you'd want to see, all right? I want to talk about that real quick before I move on, all right? Let me go back to the chat so I can see chat stuff, what you guys are saying. There's so many great stories. Okay, so what do you want to see? All right, so Boston has a great story. They've been to the Eastern Finals twice. It's time for them to show they are superstars. They got rid of their coach. They got this new coach who should be coach of the year. And now if they win the championship, it justifies everything, and they're right there, right? That'd be a great story. Not the best story, but that's a great story. Now you got the Nets having to deal with, Kyrie Irving and his vaccine stuff and trading James Harden and that drama. And then you have Ben Simmons who may or may not play. If the Nets can overcome all that and get to the championship, what a great story. But even within that story, what do we want to see? I would like to see the Nets play the Sixers, because then is James Harden going to show up? Is it going to be like that, the playoff atmosphere, Embiid talking his smack? That's a great story. Love to see Nets Sixers. All right, how about Nets Milwaukee? That's a great story, because Milwaukee won last year, but we all know the Nets were up 40. They were up 40 in game 1 or 2. Like, it looked like the Nets were going to roll over them. Milwaukee goes on to win the championship, right? This is Milwaukee's time to go, hey, y'all two are playing good. Kyrie's not hurt. All right, we need to go beat y'all so you can know it wasn't a fluke last year. We beat your ass last year. We'll beat you again. Great story. Love to see Giannis Antetokounmpo prove that he is an all-time superstar and it wasn't a fluke championship because of injuries and all that stuff. That's a great story, right? So many great stories. Here's another great story. The Golden State Warriors are balling right now, okay? They are I hate the Golden State Warriors, but my Clippers are out of it. Lakers are out of it. So if I had to support anybody in the West, it would, all right, Golden State looks good. But I'm rooting for Phoenix because I like Chris Paul. But the Golden State has a great story. So here's their story. The first championship they won, it was nonsense. Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving were hurt, and LeBron took them to 6 games and then beat them the next year. 73-win team. So we always have that in our minds. We always have that in our minds that you shouldn't have won that first championship. That is what it is. So they have 3 championships. Then they got KD and won 2 more. So this unit, the unit that won 73 games, the main unit of Klay Thompson, what's his name, Green, and Curry, that's that lineup. They're the core of this championship team, right? If they can go on and win the championship without KD, it does 2 things. It legitimizes them, all the championships. It legitimizes them fully, even though they're already legit, okay? But really puts a stamp on it. 2, it takes away from KD. Like this whole thing that KD was the best and all this, like, nah, man. They did it with you and they did it without you twice. And how great of it would be for the Nets to play the Warriors. Oh, my God. Nets and Warriors would be a great championship. What a great story, right? Phoenix, they got a great story. If Phoenix goes to the championship again and they win it this time, it does so much for Chris Paul's legacy. It does so much for Phoenix of like showing that it wasn't a fluke for them either. That because they had the best record in the league. They proved themselves to be the best team in the league. So let's see if they can fulfill that. So anyways, guys, Great stories in the NBA. Super excited about that. Can't wait to see that go through. So, all right. So Philly, Toronto. Let's get back to that. Philly, Toronto. I think Philly's going to sweep them. If not, it'll go 5 games. They just don't have enough. With Maxey, Tyrese Maxey, he's averaging 30 points a game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's the X factor. He's proven that it's not a fluke. He had a great first game. He had a great second game. And what it's doing is it's letting James Harden be a facilitator. James Harden has lost a step. He's not the same guy from Houston, but he's getting over 10 assists a game. He's getting steals. And all we need from him is like 19, 20 points, over 10 assists. And if he gets 10 rebounds, we're solid. His game, his heady plays are doing it. So you got that, right? And then if you're going to have Maxey play like that, and then all you need is the other guy, what's his name? Oh man, what is the guy's name? You guys know I'm terrible with names. The other forward, he was with the Clippers. Help me out, guys. Whatever his name, you guys know who I'm talking about. That guy, if he plays well, then you have 4 solid players that you can get a great game from one and a solid game from the others, or a great game from 2. It's just enough to it's enough to keep us going. You know, Tobias Harris, thank you. Tobias Harris. So if Tobias Harris gives you 20, you got Embiid going 25, 30 with 15 rebounds, 19 from Harden, 25, 30 from Maxey. Whoo! Dangerous team. I would not be surprised if they won the championship. All right. Mavericks Jazz. This is a nonsense series. You know, I don't know if Luka is going to play in this series. I hope he does. The series is tied 1-1. Utah neither one of these teams have a chance to win the championship. So it's like, who cares? You know, Utah they don't got it. They're missing something. Gobert, when he's on the court and they go small on the other team, he can't guard anything. He's a great rim protector, but they play better when he's off the court. And he's one of their best players. So it's hard to say. And you got Donovan Mitchell. He's averaging 33 points in the series. And then Jalen Brunson for Dallas is averaging 32 for this series. So if they actually get Luka back, man, I mean, Dallas looked like a really contender, but a guy that's got that sort of injuries, even if he comes back, like, do you want to risk it? I mean, KD is a cautionary tale. Like, that guy's the franchise. He when he's playing, he was responsible for like 60% of their offense, scoring and passing. So it's like, do you want to? This season's a wash. I would just rest him and be like, all right, we're going to come back strong next year and let these guys earn their stripes in the playoffs. But that Dallas-Utah series is nothing to be desired. So whatever with that, man. Warriors-Nuggets, I think the Warriors are going to sweep them. I mean, the Nuggets were fighting on the bench. They got Steph Curry coming off the bench. You know what I mean? This dude, Jordan Poole, is averaging 29 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting lights out. I think that the Golden State Warriors are showing themselves to be like, hey, we have a championship pedigree and look out for us. So watch out for the Golden State Warriors. But this series is over, okay? I'm sorry, Denver fans. And then, like, Jokic, he got kicked out on purpose yesterday. He did. He got kicked out on purpose. He was like, I won't play this game anymore. I got no help. My teammates are fighting. They're not playing defense. They're not hitting shots when I pass them. And I think he got that second tech and was like, I'm out of here. I'm going to the showers. That series, Garbanzo Beans too. Golden State Warriors are in firm command of that series. All right, Heat and Atlanta. Now the Heat are the most underrated number 1 seed. It's crazy because with all the other stories in the Eastern Conference, the Heat have managed to have the best record, and we're not talking about them. Jimmy Butler's leading this team. He's only averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I think that's pretty great. You know that he could do that and then lead them in the way he's leading them. They got a pretty good team. You hope that, you know what I mean? Like, you hope that they could take care of this team early because Atlanta seems to be slipping. I don't think they don't seem to have enough. And Clint Capella is not going to be playing in the next game. I think that's how you say his first name, but Capella, I think he's injured, so I don't think he's going to play game 2. And then, they held Trae Young He's their guy. If he don't go off, Atlanta loses, and that's exactly what happened. I just don't see Atlanta beating Miami. Maybe they'll get a game or two, maybe two. Most likely they'll get one, but I see Miami taking this series and getting to the next round. So that is what it is. And then you got Grizzlies Wolves, man. Grizzlies Wolves is I think the most intriguing series in the West. I think Minnesota, the Timberwolves, they're actually better than their record shows. They actually got a really great team. Karl Anthony, 29 points. They got that rookie guy. I mean, he's balling. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this would be an upset. It would be an upset if the Minnesota won, because the Grizzlies had the second seed. I mean, they were balling all year, but I don't know if either one of these teams has enough to go further. But we got to see tonight if the Grizzlies, if it was just a fluke, or if they can bounce back from this with their lack of playoff experience and come back. But Minnesota, man, I'm telling you, they really look good. So I think they got size, they got defense, they got depth. D'Angelo Russell's balling. That dude, is his name Edwards? What's that kid's name? You guys know me. You guys are always getting on me about how I never remember anybody's name. I'm old. Relax. You know what I mean? It is Edwards. Edwards had 36 points in his debut. Yeah, so that guy's balling. You got Karl Anthony Towns doing what he does in the inside, and he can shoot threes. He won the three-point contest. So I don't know. This is a really intriguing series. So I'd love to see who, because then the winner of this, because this is the second seed. So 2 plays 3. So that would be like the winner of this got to play Golden State. So that's you know what I mean. Like that's what I'm saying. That the Western Conference is it's not as stacked as the other one in these stories. But I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that one. I got to see how the Grizzlies play tonight. But if Minnesota steals another one, that's it. Game over. And then obviously Suns, Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are putting up a valiant fight. If Zion was playing, it'd probably be different. Well, they probably have a different seed. But I think the Suns are going to roll through them and get to the next round. Chris Paul is just playing lights out, and he's on a mission at 37 years old. Devin Booker's doing the damn thing. So we'll see how that goes. And then Bucks Bulls. I think the Bucks are going to win that series. I don't think they have enough. Giannis is a monster. I mean, he's one of the candidates for league MVP. He's a finalist. So I just don't see. I don't think the Bulls have enough yet to get past the Bucks. So, all right. There you go. That's my big time. Thank you, Charles, for the $1 super chat. But yeah, so that's how I feel about it. And if anybody else has any thoughts, please, you can put your thoughts, what you think about what I'm saying. You don't gotta attack me, please. Like sometimes people put these comments, but it's just just have a conversation. Say, hey, I disagree. I think this, and this. But you don't gotta attack me personally. You don't know me like that. You know what I mean? And if you ain't gonna come up to my face and talk this shit that you talk, shut up on the internet. Just be respectful. We're just trying to have some dialogue. That's what the community is about, man. Riffin with Griffin is it's a community of people that we just like having conversations. I talk about all different kinds of stuff. You don't got to be a dick. All right, guys. Now I want to talk about, that's my NBA recap. So let's go into this. I wasn't going to do, I was going to do this on my Patreon, but I thought, you know what? This is actually a really great show. So I said, let me talk about this show, Moon Knight. Have you guys seen Moon Knight on Disney Plus? It's actually a really great show. Like I'm a Marvel. I liked Marvel comics, but I was getting like the The big ones, I collected the Avengers, I collected Marvel Team Up, I got some X-Men, and then maybe I got like those those B ones like Alpha Flight and those kinds of ones. I had but then I stopped collecting comics. But I've never even heard of some of these characters. Like I've never heard of Moon Knight before. I didn't know Moon Knight was a Marvel character. Feel like they're looking in their archive of what they own from Marvel and they're just like, all right, let's make this. But this is actually a really fantastic series. It stars Oscar Isaac, and he is just a really phenomenal actor, y'all. Let's go to this. There he is right there, Oscar Isaac, and then it stars Ethan Hawke and May Callum Maui, or I don't know, kind of terrible with names, but the black girl May, she's good. I like her. So anyway, the show's about Stephen Grant discovers he's been granted the powers of Egyptian moon god, but he soon finds out that this newfound powers can be both a blessing and a curse in his troubled life. So the guy, Isaac, what's his name? He's playing two different characters, and he's doing a really great job at it. So he's playing like this assassin character, American assassin guy who's like in league with this Egyptian god who like doles out punishment after somebody does some bad things. And then the other character is this other guy, Steven, he's this sort of like British nerd who works at a museum, and he's just really introverted and weird, and he's doing a great job playing both characters. And they're sort of fighting each other inside of his head. So one wants to control the body and then the other wants to control the body. And they're fighting against the bad guys played by Ethan Hawke, who is like in league with another Egyptian god this Egyptian god is about doling out punishment before the punishment happens. So it's like not giving people a chance. And so that's the fight between good and evil. Ethan Hawke's doing a great job, and Oscar Isaac's doing a great job. I've watched the first 3 episodes. I think tomorrow, and it's only 6 episodes. And what I like about it is what Marvel is doing. I love what Marvel's doing, man. I wish, cause here's the thing, here's something you talk about in the chat and in the comments. What Marvel movie would you have preferred it to be a 6 episode series like Moon Knight? Like they could have easily made this a movie, cause it's like, but I prefer 6 hours of television than 2 hours of a movie and cutting out all the stuff that they had to cut out to put it on screen. I think this is a better way to develop characters, to follow the story, to like be involved, and then like keep it going. Is there going to be another season, or now you've established Moon Knight? Is he going to be with the Eternals and the rest of the Avengers and whoever's left, and whatever the storylines with Doctor Strange? It makes us think like that. So I wish, somebody said the Eternals. You know what? I actually agree with you. Like, there's some things I didn't like about the Eternals. I didn't like this woke casting that they did because it's distracting and it doesn't make any sense. Why would the God figure, why would Erisham, the God in the movie in Eternals, why would he create these superheroes like this? Like, why would they be, okay, I'm going to send a middle-aged Latina, a middle-aged white woman, an Asian girl with a British accent, chubby Asian guy, Arab dude, deaf girl, little tomboy, and a white guy is the most powerful, and he's also the villain. Oh, and the chubby gay black guy that wears glasses. Really? Like such nonsense in terms of like, it's so indicative of the times that there's no artistic integrity in that. All they had to do is make it where the Eternals could morph into whatever they wanted to and change over time. And if this is what they ended up as, I'm on board. Boom. But you don't start like that. There's no freaking way you start like that. You don't start with Selma Hayek having a Latino accent in ancient Egypt. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sorry, you lost me. You lost me with the wokeness, okay? I couldn't suspend my disbelief, and I think that's more important than anything else. You have to make the viewer suspend their disbelief so they can believe that what's happening on screen could actually happen. That's movie magic. They didn't achieve that. But that being said, it's actually not a terrible movie. You know, when I got past that, because I've actually watched it. I've watched it like 5 times on Disney Plus. When I put it on, I go, oh, this is actually enjoyable. So I like the special effects and I like the interact. I love the stories, the interaction amongst the characters. It was great. You know what? They were great actors, actually. They were great actors, and I think they did a fabulous job. That being said, but yeah, the Eternals would have been a great 6-episode series to really get into it. You know what I mean? But Moon Knight, getting back to Moon Knight, it's great. You know, I just think that like what they're doing with the whole Marvel universe is great. You know, I loved Loki. Loki was a great series. I loved Hawkeye. That was a great series. Especially when they added the chick from Black Widow, because that girl's great. The girl that stars in Black Widow, that chick's dope. Okay, great actress. I believe her. Everything she says, I believe her. So hopefully they got her in this universe still, and we'll see what happens with that. But Moon Knight's pretty good, man. Not mad at it at all. So I do highly recommend Moon Knight. I'm giving that some woo-woos. Ooh, woo, 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 night. So Moon Knight is a very good show. So I highly recommend that. Yeah, somebody in the chat said Eternal characters needed more backstory. Completely 100% agree. Give me some backstory. But if you saw the movie, it's impossible to give them backstory. Spoiler alert, they're robots. Okay? So the backstory is, and they've been doing this for 1,000,000 years. So my thing is like, why are they like this? You know what I'm saying? So the other planets, they look, that's just what I'm saying, man. Like they should have had it where they can change. So like if the Eternals are in, you know, in Africa, then they're all black because they're trying to be, they're trying to blend in with society. And then so if we're talking about now it's 7,000 years later and they've all decided, hey, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, then I'm with it. But to suggest that they started like this and they were sent to Earth and they've been this way for 7,000 years, I cannot make that logical jump. You know, I just couldn't. So it needed more, and I totally agree. Needed more backstory right there. Well, I'm almost wrapping up here, guys. So something I don't always do, but maybe I should start doing. If you have any questions, you want to ask a question in the chat. You guys are a little behind. So I see John Carl DeMay. You guys know I'm on King and the Sting. It said Delia crying was touching. Not enough men can express their gratitude for male friendship. I totally agree with you 100%, man. I don't care. If you guys watch me and know me, I don't mind showing my emotions. I don't mind. I'll cry on a hat. I cried about Glassman. It is what it is. So I feel like there's nothing wrong with expressing your emotions, and that's such an old feeling of being like, men have to be a man, and all this, like whatever that means. Whoever defined that, I reject it. I reject that premise that being a man means you don't show any emotions and you have to be able to lift crates and whatever that is. No, I think being strong is being able to show your emotions and then handle it. How you handle your emotions after is the thing. Not everything should be shared in public, obviously, but being emotional and sensitive is not, you're not weak. You're not weak. It's how you embrace them and deal with them. That's what shows you. Somebody said, can you do more woo-woos? You only get 2 more for you. Woo, 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 woo. I don't know what's the next movie I'm going to look at when I when I review, it's just movies come out and I just do it. Or sometimes I'll watch a movie on Amazon or some like movie that came out 2 or 3 years ago and it just intrigues me. And then sometimes it's so crazy that I like to do these like movie recaps. I'm actually looking for an animator. Somebody gave me a good idea that I should animate my movie reviews. Like when I recap a whole movie, if somebody animated it, that would be kind of cool. And I actually think that's actually a cool idea. But I don't even know if it's even possible to do that because would that be copyright infringement? Because I'm talking about a movie that's already been made and now I don't know. You guys would have to tell me. It is what it is. I appreciate your support as always, guys. Make sure you subscribe, share, hit the notifications so you get it. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, because what I'm going to start doing with my Twitch is I'm going to go on Twitch and do just talk, be on Twitch. And then I'm going to make that subscriber only chat on Twitch. And then the people that can watch the videos, subscriber only video watch. And that'll be the videos I also put up on Patreon and my YouTube members. And for my YouTube members. So you can become a YouTube member. You can become a Patreon member. Share, follow, subscribe, and all that great stuff. And then I have to do real world advice from a grown-ass man. I'll probably do that next week. I haven't done it. I did watch Severance, guys. Severance was great. I guess I could do another full recap of Severance because it was fantastic ending to Severance, but I'll leave that for another time. Maybe I'll do that next week too. Finish up with Severance. So you have an opportunity to go watch it. So, I don't spoil it. So make sure if you want to watch Severance, now's the time you watch it. You have a week, finish it. It's only 10 episodes because I probably will talk about it. I probably will talk about it next week so we could, you know what I mean? We could recap that. So anyways, guys, another live episode in the books. You know how I do it. It's just right off the cuff. No edits. Just get it out. I appreciate all of you guys, your comments, super chats, support. You can even send me a tip if you want to, you can support the show in so many different ways. I appreciate it. And that's it. And I will see you next week. Thank you